Yo. No. Stop it. You got to play PTSD right now. I'm sorry. You just got to give me PTSD right now. I can't breathe. I got post-traumatic stress, yes, sir. High blood pressure. A prescription for medical marijuana. I just quit smoking. Okay, stop. I got to hear one more. I got to hear Boycott Christmas really quickly right now. Boycott Christmas. Fuck that, I make them fuck when I bust back. Ain't no shame in my aim, you can trust that. Now how the fuck you gonna start a war and ignore it? You kill our babies, but you not gonna pay for it. Get administrative leave, no incarceration. Then they giving you a paid motherfucking vacation. Okay, stop that. I gotta hear one more. I gotta hear marching orders. Why am I playing all of these truth records right now? Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show. The nigga wrote to stabilize. When did you learn to do it yourself instead of waiting for somebody to save your life? Food for the fire, your bitch ass was born to expire. First to the last, first to the peasants to fill this class. Guess what I got? I let that ride a little bit. Guess what I got? I got the link to the Truth album. I guess it's time for everybody to go out and get this record right now. Instead of begging for somebody to pay your crime. Man, finally, after all this time, Truth has finally delivered on the album. This is where you can get this whole album. Wait a minute, you got balls to the wall? Let me hear balls to the wall. Let me tell you where you get this album. So sick of you, I decided to kill you with my mind. Go to CD Baby. Never gonna face truth. CDBaby.com to build your wall of lies. /CD /truth 214. Turn it down just a little taste for me. I'm excited about this Truth album. I'm glad he was able to deliver it. CDBaby.com /CD /truth 214. The whole album is available right now. I need y'all to go cash mob Truth. We're going to change this from the community empowerment to the cash mob section, because I believe we got to cash mob these black businesses in order to fortify our community. If you don't have any leverage or any equity in your community, you cannot leverage or fortify your community with bargaining chips. What do you need bargaining chips for? You got to bargain with the police, right? You got to bargain with the court system, right? When you got power, you can do that. On a rudimentary level, recycling black dollars does exactly that. Go get balls to the wall. Go get this album by Truth. We appreciate the brother. Now, on to the rest of the community empowerment. You know, we got Weed Juice. Go support weedjuice.com. Black-owned businesses, of course. My homeboy, McCullough, Kareem McCullough. Hassan Kareem McCullough. All kinds of juices. He puts these together by hand. You understand? Go support the brother. You get a 20% discount if you reach out and say, yo, Zo What sent me. Also, in 2 days, Dr. G's book, Just Listen, right? This is the soft cover, comes out. Please support Dr. Mark Goulston. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's everywhere. Go support Mark Goulston. Also, do not forget to go support Bobby Glanton-Smith at Real Men Don't Play. Yes? Let's support Bobby Glanton-Smith at Real Men Don't Play. This is Cash Mob Mondays. We got to cash mob all of these things that I'm telling you to do. Go cash mob me. Go to cdbaby.com, Street Scholar, the God Class Volume 1. Get this CD right now. It's my lecture on God. It's music, meditation, all type of stuff happening on this CD. Go get it and support it. right now. Cash Mob Mondays, right? Again, Elephant. Let's support Elephant. Let's go cash mob these guys right now. Black businesses, black people make all this money. We have all this money. We spending it on all kind of things but each other. We don't do business in our own community. This is Elephant. High-end tailored stuff, clothing out of New York. These guys are incredible. I would not tell you to support them if, you know, they weren't incredible. I mean, if you like Ralph Lauren or Polo, Banana Republic, you know, J. Crew, these guys are on the same level or maybe even better. Please support them. Number one, they're made in America, made in New York City. Number two, cut and sewn from their own patterns. Number three, all fabrics are sourced domestically. Number four, strong design foundation that makes complete designs look very, very simple, or complicated designs look very, very simple. Man, their stuff is so fresh. Trust me. And then their reference points come from an Americana point of view, man. It's really nice. It's very collegiate, very, very nice stuff, man. All black owned. Please support these brothers who started in 2004. Also, don't ever stop supporting my homeboy Ramo Mart. He's got new designs, man. He's moving out of the Egyptian styled stuff and he's going into Persia and ancient Sumer. Oh man, his high-end clothing is crazy. Please support this brother too. RamoMart.com. Also, the Black Staples, the Black Home Depot, Arise Hospitality. If you're doing business, if you're a black-owned business, you know you need printers. You know you need ink and toner. You know you need paper. You need break room furniture. You need all of this stuff, man. These guys got office supplies. They're black-owned. Go support them right now. Also, go to my website right now, IamZoeWilliams.com. Get there right now, IamZoeWilliams.com. When you go to IamZoeWilliams.com, you're going to see that my website was designed by a black-owned company, EasyBoyWeb.com. All of your e-commerce business, all of your web design business, anything that is related to social media, these guys are capable of building it out for you. Very, very dope, guys. Go check them out. It's important. Please support, support, support. And on the phone line, I got a reading from this brother yesterday. He's a tarot card reader. This dude is deep. He was on deck. He was so on deck, I said, call him to the show Monday. Let people know who you are. The brother's name is Adam. He spells his name with 2 D's. And his website is... I'm going to let him say it. I don't want to mispronounce it. But let's get him on the line right now. Adam.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you feeling today, man?
Hey, man. That reading was spooky. I couldn't even sleep last night.
Well, man, I'm glad I could offer you some insight, but I did want you to get your rest. That wasn't my intention to keep you up all night. I was just trying to bring you some clarity, man, and some insight to help you continue to move forward.
You brought some damn clarity, all right. It was so clear I couldn't sleep. I had to watch the Avengers last night just to get it off my mind. Jesus. How do people connect with you, man? How do they lock in with what you do, man? Talk to me.
You can find my website. You can find it 2 ways. You can go to wandererawake.com, or you can do Adam from Adam. And the first Adam in that phrase is spelled with 2 D's, from Adam with 1 D. Adam from Adam.
So the website is...
ADDAM from Adam.com.
From Adam is from ADDAM.com.
Adam, yep.
Got you.
Adam with 2 D's, from Adam with 1 D. Adam from Adam.
Got it. This dude is incredible. Please call him, support him, cash mob him. That's what this is today, Cash Mob Mondays. Every business I support.
Appreciate you, though.
Come on, man. That's what we do, man. Thank you for reaching out, man. I'll hit you back a little later on. I appreciate it. Every business.
All right, man. Have a great one.
Thank you. You too, man. Every business we promote, we want you to cash mob. We want you to support. We want you to get down with and really, really, really show them that black people can cooperate, black people can unify and support each other. Now, the biggest thing that needs to be supported is the What Morning Show and Relationship Dismount Book Tour on Indiegogo. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all right now. We're at $2,500. We have 46 days left. We're at 4%. And we've had 57 people help fund this. I'm a man of integrity. I do what I say. If I ask you to do something for me, I'm going to do exactly what I said, I would do. If I ask you to do it for me, I fully expect to do everything that I say I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, this is a very serious tour that I want to put on. The Relationship Roundtable is a thing that me and Kool Moe Dee came up with a long time ago, man, where we would do these roundtables across the country and have all of these deep conversations about relationships. Well, I want to do this and back it with a book. My book is being edited right now. It's called The Relationship Dismount: How to Stick the Landing When Leaving a Negative Relationship. When you stick the landing, when a gymnast sticks the landing, it has to be perfect. If they ruin the landing, the whole routine is done. We're going to teach you how to stick the landing when you're breaking up. It's the ultimate breakup book. It's incredible. I need you guys to support us. To be honest with you, we need to raise about $2,000 a day. And that's going to be tough. We got 46 days left. And I'm urging everybody to get out there. If you've already donated, thank you. We appreciate you. But if you've already donated, pass it on to other people who may be interested in what I'm trying to do. I appreciate all of those who have done it already. It's Cash Mob Mondays. Every business I promoted here today, please support. And now we're going to take a quick break. But when I come back, topics, guests, everybody's on deck. It's about to go down. So what morning show? I'll holler at you in a minute.
Why is a white guy like me co-hosting a black radio show? I think toxic relationships cause you to take poor care of yourself. That if you can recognize danger, if you can pause, if you can take some breaths, refocus, and engage, you might be able to dodge a bullet that you're going to send or coming towards you. One of the things that men don't get is that often women need to vent first to clear their mind. So what's the secret to cutting your losses from negative people? It's pretty simple. The simple way to do that is start hanging out with better people, because when you hang out with better people, you get energized by them. And what happens is you start to feel repulsed by the negative people. I mean, it is nails on a chalkboard. And so the more that you spend time with people who just love you, respect you for you, the more difficult it's going to be around those people who, no matter what you do, you're wrong. You want to hang out with low-maintenance people. Those are people that are easy to please, difficult to disappoint. Stay away from the high-maintenance ones who are difficult to please and easy to upset. And the other thing, one of the reasons you don't let go of those toxic relationships is because you are invested in a future that was never going to happen, and it's still not going to happen, and you can't let go of the future that's not going to happen because you've invested in something. Take that investment out, reinvest it with someone who cares about you. You're worth it. Go do it. Let go of the people that you should have let go of years ago. And by the way, when you finally let go, the main regret that people have when they finally let go is they didn't do it sooner. Do it now.
Wow. Yes, bring your late ass in. We're going to have to cut etheric cords with Geoff. Look here. Listen, let me hit you with today's topic. The cutting of etheric / energetic cords. A spiritual guide for removing negativity / toxic people from your life. We've got some heavy hitters on deck. So I expect everybody in this room to be on their best behavior, Geoff.
Yeah, shit.
We've got some heavy hitters, some spiritual guides on this show that's going to help us. I'm going to introduce them after I hit these questions. Oh yeah, and help yourself. Juice time. We juice in the building. Let me ask this question. How does one recognize the negative effects of etheric cords? A lot of people be like, oh, that's that new age mumbo jumbo, energy cords, and can you cut them? And you know, all of this stuff. And I wanted to do this topic because it's very important to me. How does one recognize the negative effects of etheric cords? How are positive/negative etheric cords created in the first place? A lot of people point to sex, right? How sex energy gets into a person, and it's hard to get that sex energy out of you, and then you move on and connect with someone else intimately, and their energy is in you, and it's kind of like quantum entanglement on a spirit relational level. I mean, this is deep stuff. Can multiple sex partners dilute the energy cords of past lovers? 855-878-4652, that's the number to dial. Can too many uncleared sexual soul ties cause insanity in both men and women? You done had too many penises or vajayjays, and now you cray-cray. 855-878-4652, that's the number to dial. True or false? You should never want to sleep with somebody that you would not like to be like, or not want to be like.
False.
That's interesting. Somebody said sleep with people you want to be like. 855-878-4652.
You know how much fantastic cooter I've gotten from rotten broads?
Wow. Are you?
I can't discount all of that.
You can't?
No.
Okay. Can you use the power of sex magic? I've heard about sex magic.
Red Hot Chili Peppers got a song about it.
Right. Can you use the power of sex magic to draw through casual sex into your life, into your orbit, the person you actually want to be with? In other words, is sex a part of the law of attraction? And if so, what way? 855-878-4652. We talking about cutting ties. Let's get deep. We have our august panel here today. You know who's here with us right now. OG Bobby Glanton-Smith, straight from Murfreesboro. He had to go back to Tennessee, put his feet in the soil to reinvigorate himself, recharge. He's back here to talk about this today. Dr. Mark Goulston is here as well. And of course, Geoff Brown.
What's up?
Now, on the line, we've got special guests in the building. If Nityama, who's one of the friends of the show,
That dude.
if Nityama is the architect of the Matrix, she is invariably its mother. The Oracle is in the building. The reality-bending, reality-shifting sister that y'all never met. Oh, she's here. The female polar opposite, equal.
I'm sorry about the vase.
Oh, she's powerful, brother. She's on deck with us right now. Angela Dumas, welcome to the show. Angela, are you there?
Angela, yeah. Hi, it's Angela here.
Do you love your intro right now? The mother of the Matrix.
I love it.
No, she's awesome, man. You guys are going to love Angela. Like I said, she is the counterpart to our good friend, our brother, Nityama, who is also on Skype right now.
What
Nityama, welcome to the show, big bro.
Hey there, Zo.
Hey, Chama.
We love to have you.
what's up?
We love to have you guys here. I'm so excited. Talk to us about soul ties and how sex plays a role and the law of attraction and how we create reality with bad sex partners and how do we get that energy off of us moving forward. Nityama?
Who you want to speak first?
You, big brother.
Well, this is an energy world that we live in. And energy can never be destroyed. So therefore, when we make contact with people, we're making contact depending on the strength and the power of their energy. We could be connecting with them for life.
Through sex?
Through sex, yes.
Wow.
In other words, have you ever met women and you're talking to them and they're still talking about some guy that they knew back when they was a teenager? It's because that energy still plays in their field. They still have
his energy arise into their consciousness from time to time. Now, you can also find a woman that will be with a man that he devastated her in ways. She has a hard time a lot of times getting him out of her space as well. So sometimes people can have a very strong negative impact on you. Sometimes they can have a very strong positive impact. But depending on how strong that impact is, also will determine the amount of time that you will be being affected by that. And in a lot of instances, it could be 7 or 8 years before a woman just kind of settles down a little bit.
Wow.
And I'm sure we're going to go into it deeper. I'll let Angela say something.
Angela, please add on.
Okay, well, yes to everything. Nityama said hi, Nityama.
How you doing, Angela?
It's really very, very, very clearly put, the way you said all that. And taking it even further, whatever's going on this lifetime, not everyone believes in other lifetimes, but as you dig deeper, you often find that there are ties that go back through millions of lifetimes, not just centuries or hundreds of years. It's millions of lifetimes that keep repeating themselves. And this is where the ties start kind of interlacing with each other and how we keep bringing the same energies to us. And it's very important that we have just know that we all have the ability to change this so that we're not so negatively impacted and we don't continue to bring to us or attract to us through the law of attraction, quote unquote, these same repeating destructive behaviors. And they're based on a couple of different things, and we'll go into that more. But
wow. Bobby,
yeah.
and Bobby and Jeff, they all have questions. Mark has questions. Let's go.
How do people listening get in touch with their energy? I don't mean to ask such a basic question, but a lot of people will say they don't understand energy. And how do you sort out your energy from the energy that's been put inside you that doesn't belong to you and you got to get out? How do you?
That's a great question.
As Jeff would say, talk to me like I'm 5.
Okay. Since you're 5, I'll say it like this. Have you ever picked up the phone when someone called you and you knew that they were disturbed on the other end without asking them?
Yeah.
You are actually being affected by their energy. You're actually perceiving energetically what's going on with them without seeing them. But this is always going on. And especially in relating, a lot of times within the first 5 minutes whether the person that you're sitting there with is going to be problematic for you. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're a man and you want to have sex with her, you may override whatever it is that
it's true. How many times? It's true.
How many times?
In order to go on and get the peenie wet.
Common sense override engaged.
Exactly. So, and same thing with women. When they come to me talking about difficulty with men, I said, you knew within the first 15 minutes of you meeting this person that you could wrap them around your finger. And anytime you can wrap around your finger a male, then you've got a male that you know is in no way a man. Ooh. Okay. So all of the complications that you've had since those first 15 minutes, you brought them on yourself.
Wow. Okay, listen, we got to take a quick break. Angela, when I come back, I'm coming to you for the counterpoint to that. This is getting crazy. We cutting ties, etheric cords, energy cords. We're dispelling the energy of negative people when we come back. The Zoe Up Morning Show. You know how we do. Holla!
Incubus is an evil spirit that lies on persons in their sleep, especially one that has sexual intercourse with women while they are sleeping. The definition for succubus is a demon assuming female form to have sexual intercourse with men in their sleep. And again, these are basic secular definitions. You definitely don't see the term incubus or succubus in scripture. What I do want to say about those names, though, and as a general rule of thumb, when you're talking about spirit, you don't ever want to put too much merit into the name of a spirit, because remember that even God and Satan in the Bible are referred to by many names and many titles. And so incubus and succubus are the commonly used names for those spirits here in the U.S. In African cultures, they're more commonly referred to as spirit husbands and spirit wives. And some people just simply call them sex demons or night demons. But whatever you call them, that we need to deal with them not by name but by category, by assignment. And incubus spirits, or incubi, the plural form of that, they are simply demons of lust. They are lust spirits. They are perversion spirits, sexual lust demons.
Pay attention to whom you share your intimate energy with. Intimacy at this level intertwines your oral energy with the oral energy of the other person. These powerful connections, regardless of how insignificant you think they are, leave spiritual debris, particularly within people who do not practice any type of cleansing, physical, emotional, spiritual, or otherwise. The more you interact intimately with someone, the deeper the connection and the more of their aura is intertwined with yours. Imagine the confused aura of someone who sleeps with multiple people and carries around these multiple energies. What they may not realize is that others can feel that energy, which can repel positive energy and attract negative energy into your life. I always say, never sleep with someone you wouldn't want to be. Lisa Chase Patterson.
Wow. Wow. Jeff, what did you say during the break?
I said my spirit wife better get in here and do these goddamn dishes. Is what she better do.
My question is it like a person who's been with a whole bunch of people and absorbed a lot of the sex energy and a lot of these etheric cords, is that like spiritual multiple personality disorder?
I don't think it's all
Speaking to the mic, brother.
I don't think it's all necessarily bad. I think it is the vessel. I think it's generic to say, okay, don't take in all these energies because you can't handle it.
Right.
You don't know me. What if I can juggle all these energies and drain the negatives from them and
take what's good and leave the bad?
Take what's good and leave the bad.
Ah, like the Borg. Like the sexual Borg.
Like the Borg, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, Bobby, give us some old school down home cooking, and then I'm going to Angela. Bobby?
This has gotten way too complicated. Too many words being used that nobody can spell or understand. Incubus and succubus. The topic today is what? I done got confused again.
Really, Bobby?
Yeah.
You're not confused.
This done flew right over my incubus. I ain't never heard no incubus before. I know succubus and don't know what they mean. Back to the core subject matter for today is
Bobby is hilarious. This is the core.
What the hell is incubus?
What, incubus?
What the hell is an incubus?
Ain't that a rock band, incubus?
I'm serious, man. Now, so are we talking about energy as it relates to the to and fro between human beings, particularly the opposite sex? That which you seek in that way is about what you're going to get. Now, the question is, are you being truthful with yourself in terms of what you say you want and what you really will settle for?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, Bobby, I could cook. Hey, I
can right back in your lap.
Yeah, I can buy a bag of that. You know, I can smoke a bag of that. Angela, can you help clarify this for Bobby in terms of the energy? Because there are a lot of people out there who love Bobby's perspective and that flow with him. So he may not understand what we mean, but I do know that there's an energy with people.
Yeah.
And then just like the guy said in that video, when you're having sex with somebody, that energy is transferred. Now, Veronica said something as well as Nityama.
I thought it was Angela instead of Veronica.
No, Veronica said something a little while ago when she said, when a man has sex with a woman, 72 hours later, she begins to manifest his consciousness. So to me, that's a transference of energy. So she was saying, if a man is strong and rooted in himself, or if he's insecure, frail, and weak in himself, 72 hours later, that consciousness will manifest through the woman. Angela, can you speak to that?
I can. Nityama may be the better one to speak about this specifically, but from where I stand, to me, energy is instantaneous, and it's not like prolonged, but in the human body being that we carry, we live in this thing called a body. The body has a tendency to lag behind. So it's, you know, you've got the energy exchange in the moment of, you know, lovemaking or copulation or intercourse or whatever that is, but then what happens later is that it becomes more like it becomes dialed up, so it's louder and bigger inside, and it kind of grows. And it will also attach to the same other kind of negative energies from the past. So let me just see if I can explain this. Our ego mind makes up thinks of everything in the world as a picture. So everything we know of has a picture. Every picture has a meaning assigned to it. That's either subconscious or conscious. We have an attachment or a value added to a word. Okay, the word is a picture. Experience, feeling, emotion, it's a picture. Pictures all come from an archived system that is from the past. So if someone is attracting anyone to them at all, there is some aspect of the past of being pulled to each other, about each other, to each other. And that just becomes a ripple effect in a pool that is deep and wide. And so, yes, not only will that consciousness manifest, whether he is a powerful, rooted man or one that is weak and maybe more of a beta type of a male, that then can seep into this woman. Again, if she is strong as well, she can also shift some of that depending upon who she is. But most women that are attracting weaker males are not powerful in themselves. So they're repeatedly and consistently bringing in the same type of consciousness. So yes, it does expand over time and go in, but it deepens the problem that is there to begin with. Okay? Does that make sense?
I think what you're saying is that shitty people attract shitty people, and then they try to deflect the shittiness, but basically you are a mirror. You that person is mirroring you. My thing is, how do you get from in front of that mirror?
How do you get from in front of that?
Well, the first thing is, it doesn't mean that the person is shitty. It's really based on judgment and activity right off the bat. So the person is what they are, how they came here to do a certain bit of work to either, elevate out of that, and everything around us that we have in our world is actually there to help us go into a higher state of love, if we would see it that. But yes, we do, how do we get out of the mirror? Well, first you have to stop doing what you're doing and make a determination inside yourself that something else is more important than the thing you keep doing. Okay, we're all in these really seriously, deeply ingrained habits of negativity and toxicity.
Wow.
I got a question I got to throw out there that I want to be an answer. There's a different energy when you're making love and the energy of actually feeling close versus the energy of getting off and just having relief and release. There's different energy going on there. So could someone speak to that? Because, there's a big difference when you're just going for release and then you just kind of roll off and you're not really into it at all. But there's an energy there, but there's also an energy to feeling close. I guess one's called love making and the other one's called sex or lust. But speak to that if you can.
Nityama, speak to that.
Well, what you have to take into consideration first is that anytime a man and a woman come together, they are combining their energies. So if a woman is totally present in her body when I'm making love to her, all kinds of very powerful and positive things can happen. One instance of making love to a woman could change her life forever.
How so? Please go deeper.
Well, first of all, like we said before, whatever consciousness the man is carrying, he actually impregnates her with it. In other words, it's more than just sperm and this and that. It's actually the actual energy. So if I come to a woman and what I am doing is bringing in loftier, more high visions and goals for the planet, I'm actually impregnating her with that. She may actually even become a very viable force in helping to bring that about on the planet.
Instrumental, right?
Instrumental. So you have to always consider, where is the consciousness of the two people? A lot of times women will be actually engaging in sex and they're in no way even in their body. There's no energy in their vagina. They're over on the windowsill while it's happening. And they come back after it's over in order to get the little romantic goodies of the afterglow. Well, if I feel a woman in that space, I'm going to say, hey, do you really want to be here?
Back out the box.
Because we can go in another room and have tea. There's no need of me giving away my life force to you when you're outdoors somewhere.
Wow. Listen,
so if you want to target. If you want to be here, come in the room and be in the room. So there is getting off, which is just two people masturbating with each other's bodies. And then there's the thing of two people being completely present and conscious with one another, so that actually a woman can actually start to feel the frequency of the energies that you're impregnating her with in that moment, to the point she can almost name it out.
Nityama, does this intensify the sexual and intimate experience?
Totally. It's possible for a man to make love to a woman so consciously and so deeply until she comes to a place where life and existence touch. If she'll take a deep breath at that moment and let go, she falls out of life into existence. She doesn't even breathe. She could be suspended from anywhere from a minute to an hour without even taking a breath. When she comes back, she just like catches her breath, comes back in her body, but she will never be the same again.
I bet. Listen, we got to take a quick break, but before we go, I'm going to ask this question. We're going to go to break, and we're going to deal with the question when we come back, and that is, what are some ways to spiritually cleanse ourselves? We'll be back in 2.2. The So What Morning Show is crazy. We'll be back. What, Geoff?
You will be amazed at what comes from this sexual energy when it is risen up into the pineal gland. The creativity that you will have and the focus and willpower that you will develop to be able to do things will be unbelievable. This is why such as Mahatma Gandhi
was born.
You know what he's really talking about, though?
Looks like it sounded like his sexual tank was on E. But go ahead, Bobby.
In Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, one of the principles he talked about was sexual mutation. And it normally happens in men after 45, where you yield to that first urge, which is just get it where you get it, and you use that sexual energy to establish your legacy. You know, you really dig in and start being about the business of your life. And I thought some aspects of what he was saying relates to that.
Right. So in a lot of ways, and of course we're going to go to Angela and Nityama and Doc and Geoff. In a lot of ways, that energy as a youth, we spend all of that energy just willy-nilly chasing.
Oh my
But then
Lord.
when we get older, we focus the energy, and now we're focused on building a reality, right? We're focused on building a situation. But what I always tell my son, my oldest, who by the way is 18, I tell the young lion, I say, listen, man, you fail to realize you building your future now. The way society is constructed, we're not constructed as a society that gets you to focus on now, like what I'm doing right now. Especially with kids, you have to teach them delayed gratification because they want what they want, superficial or not, right now. And I'm saying, no. You have a future in front of you that's based off of what you do right now, the level of proficiency that you have right now. And unfortunately, that's just the way society is. But now when you throw sex into the equation, my question to everybody, and we're going to go back to that question that we had before we went to break, which is, what are some of the ways to cleanse yourself, to spiritually cleanse yourself? But my question is, how do you unbuild some of the bullshit you built with this sex stuff that you go through as a youth? You build all types of foolish realities around yourself just having sex for the sake of having sex. You know what I mean? Doc?
I have a friend who uses this term which seems to upset a lot of people, a lot of young people, and he calls it self-selection. And what he means by that is, if you can pause and think of the outcome that you want from something, whatever it is, a relationship, a job, or whatever, if you can just pause and think of that outcome and then ask yourself, is what I'm doing going to get me that outcome? You know, and self-selection is if you don't pause and choose whatever it is you need to do today to get you to that tomorrow that you said you wanted, well, then you're selecting yourself to fail.
Wow. Is that kind of a self-sabotage?
Yeah, well, what he says is, I think what it is we don't look at something in terms of the outcome we desire. We are blinded to the outcome we desire by the immediate gratification we got to have today.
Wow. Geoff?
That reminds me of something I tell my children, which is that every decision, every action is a vote.
Whoa. Wow.
It's a vote. You are voting for what you want to win. And by going to school and not paying attention and having the teacher call me, you are voting for ass whoopings to win. Okay? You want ass whoopings to lose. You need to vote with your behavior.
Great.
Because I'm just standing over here. I'm doing what you tell me to do. I don't pick the place where you get your ass whooped. You do. You have to fool
You
school.
choose.
I'm whoop your ass at school.
This is a democracy.
I said yes.
You voted this ass whooping into office.
Ass whooping into office. I love that. And you selected the terms.
Oh, that's
the
beautiful.
terms of office.
Angela, how do we spiritually cleanse ourselves? How do we get like negative energy, negative experiences out of our spirit? Is it possible?
Sure, it's possible. It depends on what someone's interest is. I just want to go back to decisions just for 1 second. Decision making, if you think about it, every single thing we do every day, every moment of every day is a decision, by the way.
Absolutely.
So we actually get to choose a decision every second, even though we don't think of it that way. We think, we're juggling big decisions, but going to the bathroom, what am I going to wear? If I'm, you are literally making tens of thousands of decisions a day, if not more. And so we've got plenty of chances to change our direction or to make a wiser choice for us. But, again, when you're young, most of us are wired a little differently than as we get more into our adulthood. And that thing about stopping and asking, I'm not sure who it was who said that. I couldn't hear your name, I'm sorry. But that's really powerful. But most kids are not going to ask themselves that.
No.
So, when we get a little bit older, we should do that because part of methods of self-inquiry, where are you willing to ask yourself, this is leading into the answer, are you willing to stop and ask yourself a question to get your own reliable answer? So that's the number, that's like step one towards moving in the direction of spiritual cleansing, because you're connecting to your spiritual guidance by doing that. By just, reacting or just going with it without any thought and just getting what you want, that's all good. There's really nothing wrong with anything, actually. It just depends on, what you choose. But when you really stop for that moment to allow yourself to take a break, first thing, if you ask your mind a question, it will stop and answer. The mind is built that way. It's a very powerful tool. So that was a great thing that Mr. Whoever you are.
That was Dr. Mark. That was Dr. Mark Goulston. That's who said it.
Hi, Dr. Mark Goulston. Hello.
Hi.
It's very powerful. It really takes your mind and zoom focus, laser beam focuses you on a question, then you must answer. And you tend to answer if you're willing to ask yourself a question.
Wow.
So that may not be spiritual in itself, but you are beginning to enter the spiritual realm of self-connectedness with the I am when that starts happening. So when you get your answer, that's I don't know which answer we're talking about, but when we're looking at cleansing, there are many things we can do. Like I've been doing etheric cord clearing for many, many years. I developed my own version of it, in fact. But the way I see it is that it's like the universal cords by which we are all connected. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're all connected. It's like this massive matrix of all these cords, but somehow, they interlace. And you can think of it as a bunch of cords all smushed together and coming in and out of each other and, bunching up and whatever. But so when a real cord clearing to me does not need to mean you have to cut the cord. Mm-hmm. You can cut the cord, but sometimes it's merely like a reorganizing and cleansing off like centuries or even this lifetime of toxic gunk. It's like just blobs of shit. It is. It really is. It's like clumps of coagulated mung that really actually keep asking for the same resonance frequency to come toward it. It'll be like a little come hither. So when we clear that off, it's smooth, it's easy. Your eyes get brighter, you feel lighter, and you can make new decisions. So cord clearing itself, etheric cord clearing, or any other cord for that matter, can be extremely, massively powerful.
Wow.
And immediate. It's immediately palpable. In fact, say for instance, I'm working with a couple, and the woman says, well, blah, 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 blah. She's complaining about her husband, and I'll be like, okay, so let me take a look. So I'll take a look, and sure enough, the way I see it, I can see whether it's in bright color, like a rainbow effect, or are there dark areas or light areas or places of like stagnation? I clear them, and the woman goes home, says nothing, and she's like, I don't know what happened, but he's just amazing, and we just had an incredible evening together. What happened? How could that be? It's because this stuff gets stuck in our energy fields. Okay? Not that you necessarily see them, but they're there. We are energy. We just are.
Wow.
So when we just clear, it would be like if I said to you, oh, your sink is clogged, get the blob out, and the sink runs clear.
Then you'll have a totally different experience altogether once it's cleared versus the experience you're constantly reliving when it's not cleared, right?
Right.
And then
a muscle gets built as well, so in the ability to start making headway in the direction of more clearing, more clarity, more smooth, open communication. That's always going to draw partners together as well, even if you're single. You're going to start up-leveling what you bring in.
Exactly.
I don't know how Nityama can speak to that as well, too.
Yes. So listen, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, I need Nityama to answer this question because there's a young lady in our green room who wrote a question, and she needs Nityama to answer it. And the question is, in terms of the transference of energy, she says, is this only possible if the man comes inside the woman? In other words, can you just have sexual intercourse And if you don't come in the woman,
wear a condom.
You wear a condom. There's no energy transference.
I'm just gonna put yourself in.
Right. So that she asked that question. So when we come back, Nityama will deal with that. We'll be back at 2.2.
The dick drill. Let's discuss it for a second. Every man, ladies, every man, I can only come from this place, every man that you come in contact with wants to fill your head with something. Every one of us. You have to determine what bullshit this dude is coming with, because we all come with some. What is the quotient of bullshit in relationship to the rest of the shit that he is coming with? And how that is going to positively and negatively affect you before you let him potentially baby calf you. Now, for those of you who do not know what a baby calf is, ladies, have you ever had sex so intense that when you get up from the bed, you walk like a baby calf? That's called being baby calved. Now, you have to understand that men are drilling holes. Yes, horrible dudes, and I don't know why big penises usually follow horrible dudes, but horrible dudes with big penises are drilling 11-inch holes in your head and filling it with bullshit that takes years for you to shake out after he's gone. And then there's this 11-inch cavernous hole, not here, in here. There's a in the mind, there's a vacuum left because you let the wrong dude drill a hole in your head. Watch who you let near the vajayjay, because it's connected to the mind in that fashion.
Wow, that was comedy and deep. Good job.
That almost made sense. You could almost connect the dots.
Right, the intellectual irritant.
It's just a joint away from reality, man.
Okay, all right. Nityama is on with us right now, Skype, live. Nityama could be anywhere in the world right now.
And usually is.
Yeah, and usually is, right? The sister in the green room asked this question. You know, she was speaking about what we were talking about earlier, which was the transference of energy. Is this only possible if the man comes inside the woman? Can you speak to that at length, please?
Well, first of all, it's very important for a woman to have her awareness and her consciousness standing at the threshold of her mind. You need to make sure that what you allow into your consciousness is something that you want to give birth to.
Right, yes.
Whether it's in her vagina or if it's in her mind. If you hang with idiots, you become an idiot. So the condom will actually, a latex condom will actually cut some of the energy transference.
Wow.
But it also means that you also are having a man scrunch around on your cervix with latex. That's the most sensitive part of your body, and everybody is allergic to latex. So latex condoms and HPV virus, they came along together.
Wow. I ain't gonna stop you. Keep going.
If you go to a winery and see the people that cork the wine, they have to wear latex gloves. Ask them to take the glove out so you can see the back of their hand. They're cracked all up, oozing pus, sometimes bleeding, meaning that the latex has had an allergic reaction to the back of their hand, and they're in no way even moving. Now imagine a woman having a man scrunching around on her cervix, and then these women are wondering why they got so many vaginal difficulties going on. These people have tricked you to be running from things that are in no way even present, while creating things in you that will take you out.
Wow.
So, yes, she can use a condom, and that'll keep the energy of the man from being there, but then she's doing a disservice to herself and her own body by allowing him to scrunch around on her with latex. So she'd be much better off making higher choices about who she lays down with.
Absolutely.
And taking the condom and putting it somewhere else.
You know what?
Blow it up. Make a balloon out of it. Use it for things that can really actually, that could be playful and beneficial on some level. The other thing is, people need to be aware of taking advice from people that have an intention to remove you from the planet. So now, there are other types of condoms even. All of them are not latex, but they conditioned your mind to believe that the only ones that will protect you have to be made out of latex, because those are the only kind that will do you harm.
Wow.
So their thing is to get you to do things that will do you harm. They're in no way attempting to save you from anything. Or they would stop GMO in the food. They would stop putting out
Come on, doctor.
They in no way interested in saving your life. Wake up.
Wow.
Everything they do is to systematically undermine your health.
Wow. So you really damned if you do and damned if you don't in these situations.
Well, I think the ladies need to hear something that kind of shouted at me in subtext. Is that when you first start dating a dude, Brother Nityama, basically what you're saying is that regardless to what the man says, what he really means is, girl, give me some time so I can come over there and scrunch around on your cervix with this latex.
Exactly.
Wow.
And here's the other thing. Most women will tell you, you're going to have to use protection. You got a latex condom? She's asking for this punishment.
You're going to scrunch around on my cervix with some latex?
Exactly.
Wow.
So anytime somebody can program you to beg other people to do things that are harmful to you, they're actually training you to commit suicide.
And you to kill yourself.
Wow. See,
exactly.
You know what I think, though? I'm going to add on this. I think society programs us and conditions us to make poor choices.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to relationships. Nityama just said she has to put herself, not just she, but he, we both have to put ourselves in position to choose higher. And I think it's difficult to choose higher when you've been socialized to choose lower, right? I think it's very difficult to choose higher, right? So, and the reason why I say that is because I think society has neutered the spiritual aspect of relationship out. It's more socially driven than it's spiritually driven. So when we do make choices, we're typically making them based on social things, social cues. Did he go to school? Does he have a job? Does he have a car? Does he have a home? You know, it's all of these social cues, which are cool, right? I'm not saying those are bad things, but the spiritual aspect, just like this is why we have a bridezilla kind of culture that is fighting to the death to get the symbol of marriage, but not what the symbol symbolizes. Jeff?
And to piggyback on that, that's why it is possible to wind up with the wrong person that has all that social shit, or to totally overlook the right person who may not have any of that social shit.
Right. Right.
So Mr. Right then walk right past your ass.
Right.
Because you looking for Mr. Social Cues.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
You know,
Bobby?
It's another variable in this equation, and it's what do you want, really? What do you really want? Do you want You've heard the phrase, I want a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed and that kind of thing. Yes. Until you really make up your own mind what it is you're trying to configure, then you have to look in that mirror and see what kind of reflection is that I'm seeing in the mirror before you go out there and impose whatever it is you're playing with on somebody else.
Bobby, you say something deep, man. We got to take a break, but you say something deep. Most people want what they're like. They don't want themselves.
No.
They're afraid of who they really are, so they want the ideal version of themselves, which isn't who they are.
Why you always see plus size girls and fat girls on Facebook with these dudes that work out in the gym like that's your dude. Bitch, quit lying. What's for breakfast if that's your dude? What y'all, because he ain't eating what you eat. He don't do what you do. He don't go where you go. He ain't doing none of that. So stop. I never see fat girls taking sexy pictures with fat dudes. You never see it.
Oh, my God. And there's the comedy portion of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back at 2.2. So what morning?
This is what the orgasm is. It's an overcharge of energy. And that overcharge spills out of the sexual organs, out of the chakras, and into the surrounding ganglia, into the nadis. That's what we feel as an orgasm. And we think it's pleasurable because the root energy is. What we don't see is that that energy destroys. It destroys the organism gradually. This is why people who have a lot of sex gradually lose their sexual power. People who really become addicted to the orgasm and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it gradually lose the ability to have it. They become impotent, or they become indifferent because these centers become burned out. Now, this is why we see everybody wants to take chemicals to stimulate their sex drive.
Wait a minute. Now you telling me a story, and then you switch it on me and say the woman in ecstasy and turn around and slap somebody. She slapped him upside the head. And I said, why did you slap? She said, I couldn't help it. She just, I know your audience.
That big girl been screwing crazy dudes. You think I'm finna slap Charles? Charles is crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, who was the first guy with the other side of this story?
What do you mean?
The first video in the, coming out of the break.
Talking about destroying.
Was he a doctor or what was that?
Chris, send us the name. Text me the name of the that video with the caduceus. Send me that, and we'll tell you who that is.
What's it called? A caduceus?
Yes.
That sounds.
It's the medical symbol. It was adopted by, that's the symbol you see on the side of an ambulance. But it was taken out of Egypt.
Right, yeah, I knew that.
Or ancient Kemet.
Now, what was he basically trying to, what was his final point? Because it sounded like he was saying if you have a lot of sex, you're going to become either impotent or indifferent, right?
He was saying you burn or you lose a lot of energy just by having sex. And in that video, he was also talking about masturbation. Like, constantly masturbating. Like, did you see that news article about that kid who masturbated like 56 times in a row on Valentine's Day, and then he had a heart attack and died? It's a kid.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, I just saw that article.
So 56 is the number?
I bet you he was smiling though. He went out.
So 56 is the number?
That speaks though. Let me just say this. This
you
speaks
squeeze
to
off
something.
54 of them, you're all right.
There is a book called the Tao or the Tao of Sexology. Mm-hmm. Stephen somebody, I forgot his name, but I'll pull it up right now. And they talk about how the monks withhold their sexual chi. They withhold their sexual energy.
For the next life.
I don't know if it's for the next life or not, but they redirect it into other practices. And the brother who was speaking on that video, I'm going to ask Angela as well as Nityama about, is it possible to waste your sexual energy, not just, masturbating or something. Is it possible to waste your sexual energy on another person? Kind of like throwing, pearls at the feet of swine. Like, maybe your energy is at a different consciousness level, right, than another person? I think that's an interesting question to ask. Angela?
Yes.
Did you hear my question? She's breaking up a little bit. Can we get a clearer?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, we're gonna get Angela back, and then we're gonna go to Nityama really quickly. Nityama, did you hear my question, brother?
What was the question again, Zoe?
I was asking, is it possible to waste your sexual energy?
Okay, here's the thing. Sex is intended to be an exchange of energy. So I bring my positive pole, which is my penis, and I place it in the woman's negative pole, which is her vagina. And when I send all that hot yang energy up inside of her, she is to pull that energy up to her heart, and then on the exhale, allow that energy to move out of her heart into my heart, which is my negative pole. Her heart is her positive pole. And then there's a circuit that is created. So now we are exchanging energy. I'm bringing electricity to her. She's bringing magnetism to me. So now we both leave being electromagnetic. So, yes, I mean, whenever we're engaging, there are a lot of things that are transpiring. So most men on the planet, Zoe, have never received anything from a woman.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Meaning that most women are afraid to go to their heart. So you even hear women in these days and age saying, I want you to get more in your heart. I want you to get more in your heart to the man. That's her job. That's her role. She is to bring the heart. The man learns love through her. But we got the women now telling the man, you need to be more in your heart. Basically, she's asking him to stop being a man and be more effeminate with me.
So that now I don't even want nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. A woman will turn you into something she can't stand if you let her.
Exactly.
Wow.
That is exactly my point.
There's a family implication about this because, you know, the kindness of a man is a distant second to the warmth of a mom.
The what?
The kindness of a man is a distant second to the warmth
Absolutely.
of a mom, and a lot of moms are losing their warmth.
They're cold.
They're cold, and it's hurting their kids, it's hurting their spouses, it's hurting them. And I think what you just said is a real cure for it. That if the man
is conscious sex on both parts,
that if he can provide love to her through that negative pole, so that it warms up her heart, and then she can then release it to the emptiness in him, which is a heart that may be kind, but a heart that isn't warm. If we could get that circuit going, and then it could overflow into their children.
Exactly,
we could fix a lot of things.
Wow. Angela.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Angela, we got Angela back on the line. Really quickly, INC on my Twitter page just asked the question. He wants to know, is celibacy the best way to detox from old energies, from old etheric cords? Is that the best way to just isolate and insulate yourself from sexuality? Speak to that, please.
Not really. I mean, if that's someone's goal, that's going to have to be up to them. But there are other things that they can do. Celibacy itself does not necessarily mean that someone's insulated or isolated from anything. It could be a shutting down of some sorts. It could be an apathy, which is a very low energy. There are etheric cords are something that are present, but you need to know how to use them and work with them. So you usually got to go to someone who knows how to do that kind of work, unless you know how to do it yourself.
Wow.
So, but just celibacy in itself is not necessarily perfect. The monks who choose this particular style, there are many groups of people on the planet who do use these, saving their ejaculate, but it's really their energy, where they redirect it into a higher place within. It actually makes them more potent, in fact. Wow. And they do not ever miss the ejaculatory experience if you ever talk to them. It's actually higher it's a more Kundalini work. There's a whole bunch. I know you need to go to a break. Go ahead.
No, not just this section.
I thought you had to go quickly.
No, we didn't. But go ahead.
Oh, good.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, well, I wanted to speak to something about the woman.
I got you,
and the
Nityama.
heart.
I got you,
Okay.
Nityama. I'm gonna come back to you. Nityama. But finish your point, Angela.
Yeah. So, with a woman, and many cultures know this, but through Chinese medicine, the heart is the same as the uterus. Okay, there's a direct connection. It's called the bai lao. And what happens is that often gets cut off. It's what Nityama was talking about earlier. So our heart is actually cut off because we've also been hurt or damaged, like where everyone's out of their own uprightness, so to speak. So if the heart is not connecting to the uterus, which is, by the way, they both hold blood. They both have to do with loving and reproduction and creativity, and they both are like made of pretty much the same material. So when that is not connecting, then we are all tripped up. We're not capable of really doing this thing we want. And the man can't do it for us unless we start kind of aligning in ourselves as women to then be receptive to the man and vice versa.
Wow.
I don't know if that
no. That was clear.
Sense or not.
That was clear for us. We have to take a quick break, but we will be back. Yo, this is a new truth record right here.
She was the preacher's daughter, but she was sneaky, slick.
Turn that up a little bit.
Bit hotter than fish grease beneath them sheets. Lord have mercy, she was sweet like a peach. Tricking motherfuckers for them treats. Good enough to eat. Good enough to
back at 2.2. So what more, niggas? I wish you guys could.
Coming.
I wish we would have had Chris in here filming between the breaks.
If you get the right woman, she will make you come like a broken sprinkler head. Oh my God. The sex is tremendous with the right woman.
Is that what he was saying?
Yes, he was saying about
what the hell is he saying?
Corey Holcomb was just here, and he paid the woman $80 to do something to me. She took me around the world. Oh my God.
Corey said, Bobby said, what the hell is he talking about?
I think he was saying, I can't believe that these people think I'm making sense.
Oh, you trying to be funny today? Oh, that's cute.
Did anybody notice I have French tips?
It's contagious.
Yeah, French tips. Did anybody? It's hard for me to take advice from a man. Got French tips.
Oh my God! Listen, my personal Twitter page is on fire, which is at Zoe Williams. B. Clef Beats said, "An orgasm without a woman is wasted chi." I like that. He said, if you have an orgasm without a woman, you've wasted your energy. You wasted your chi. There's another brother on here. His name is, I think, Sinister Mephisto. He's saying he doesn't buy into none of the new age spiritual mumbo jumbo, as he puts it. He doesn't buy into any of that. He was saying we need to create a mindset of stepping back, taking stock, and refocusing when it comes to sex.
Absolutely.
He says emotional intelligence is what we need. It provides a more logical, accountability-based platform for solutions. He also says we are overcomplicating things, and we are elaborating areas that can be explained simpler. And then he says, I read all of the books you suggested. And then he says, he had something else where he was kind of livid. I wanted to make sure I got it out. He said people are using all of these meta and layered analogies to avoid taking responsibility. Energy is just an analogy. It's all neurochemical, no more, no less. Spirits and demons are bullshit. Listen, I believe in spirit. I'm sorry. I believe in spirit. Now, I don't give a damn about religion.
No, neither.
But I believe in God. I'm anti-religion.
Yes.
But I'm not an atheist. I believe in God, right? So I don't know how to explain or break God down, but I know the higher you go spiritually, every aspect of your life gets integrated into spirit, including sex. Okay, we got to turn Bobby's mic off because he beatboxing. I don't know. I don't know what's good. What's Dougie Fresh up? So, for me, I mean, Bobby was over here beatboxing. I don't know what's going on. But for me, spirit, like even with the Hindus, when you start talking about the Kama Sutra, Kama Sutra, when you talk about the Buddhist monks, sexuality has a place in creation. Absolutely. Right? It's the act, it's the physical act that humans have to create. Now, if you're not making a baby, my question is, what are you making?
A damn mess, usually. Because people try to take out the spiritual component of sex, but all you are doing is having incomplete sex. It's not that you, it's almost impossible to remove that component. You can go without it, but don't think that you're complete going without it. You feel what I'm saying? You can take it out, but just because you took the spiritual component out of...
Maybe they didn't take it out. Maybe they're just unaware of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe it's operating at a level of consciousness that they're just not aware of. That don't mean it's not active, and that doesn't mean it's not the most powerful portion of what's active.
It more than likely is.
Yeah.
But now you got this super powerful thing that you don't have the steering wheel. You ain't got your hands on the steering wheel of that at all, and it is wreaking havoc in the rest of your situation.
Well, again, an orgasm is the one thing a poor man and a rich man have in common, right? And for most people, that momentary orgasm is an escape from their incredibly mundane life.
Yeah.
Whether they're rich or poor.
Well, the rich man.
Yes, Angela?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to interrupt. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yes.
I'd like to speak to just for a second of that one moment, that orgasmic moment where everybody has that, whoever it is has something in common. What they also have in common is a moment in the highest state there is, which is complete quiet. And in fact, people don't realize that spirituality, it doesn't have to be some mumbo jumbo. It can just be, whatever. But it can also be very practical. So when people reach that apex in that moment, Nityama spoke to it earlier, a woman can be for a moment or an hour almost breathless, without breath, in that it's a state of quietude where there is no noise and no sound, no disturbance, which means that is where we are most connected to everything. And that's really what we're all seeking, which is this place of total unadulterated purity, not if something's good or bad, right or wrong. None of that matters. It's that one moment of quietness, and that's why many people sit like monks do, or different people try to sit in meditation to achieve this high state of quietude where nothing is bothering you. So that moment is a total moment of perfection, and we are here ultimately to communicate from that place.
Let me ask,
I just wanted to throw that in.
Yes, and it's good information. Let me ask everybody, can sex heal a relationship?
By itself, no. But it can definitely be a precursor to getting some healing done. It's whether you're willing to do the other work. It'll connect two people, because if I may speak freely, my first wife, man, oh my God, the sex was otherworldly. It's just everything else was just horrible.
The sex was
fuck you is how it was. It was just horrible.
Dr. G?
It used to be said that men give love in order to get sex, and women give sex in order to get love. And I'm wondering if there's no way to measure this, but there's something called oxytocin. Oxytocin is what bonds us to other people, and women have that, and it overflows them when they have young children. And I'm wondering if what's amiss is that when a woman has an orgasm, I'm wondering if she's getting a surge of this oxytocin, so she feels bonded. Whereas I think when a man's having an orgasm, it's like it's testosterone and adrenaline. So those are two different energies. I'd be very curious to see what happens to adrenaline and testosterone when a man has an orgasm, and what happens to oxytocin or pitocin when a woman has one.
Bobby?
I'm glad we don't use these words in the process of having sex. You know, it would be like a little bit too encyclopedic for me.
Oh my God, I feel the oxytocin coming. I'm going to hit you with my testosterone. Do you want this testosterone?
But Doc was right about one thing, and the old paradigm was, you know, as he just described, we're going to move into a whole nother era now where it's far more confusing, and we got to work that out. But I'm still pretty much satisfied with the fact that, yes, I still like to do it because I'm not on medication.
Nityama,
yes.
Wrap it up for us.
There's something that I want to bring in. You asked sex heal a relationship. First, there has to be a relationship to heal.
Wow.
And one of the things that most people have still yet to be aware of on this planet is that you are spiritually compatible with some people, and some people you have zero spiritual compatibility.
Wow.
How can you tell the difference?
Because
be honest.
in Ayurveda, whenever you are under a particular dosha, if you're with somebody that's under that same dosha, you're under spiritual incompatibility. So when that is present, your spirits have a very difficult time being at ease with one another in the same room.
So for people who don't understand what a dosha is, what is a dosha?
A dosha is each one of us has a particular way in which we function. Some of us run hot, some of us are more meditative, some of us are more animalistic. So depending on which one of those you are compatible. You need something that is different from you for there to be compatibility.
Hey,
so if you end up with two people of the same kind, they are spiritually incompatible. And here's what happens. They have difficulty. They're too much alike. So that being too much alike creates a dissonance or a conflict between them. If they're in a room together, they both want to sit in the same chair. So therefore, an argument ensues about where we don't sit.
So let me
wait a minute.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, we need to deal with. I heard opposites attract, but that's a train wreck too. This has been in my life anyway. And sometimes you just have a purely physical attraction to somebody.
Yes.
So how do you balance this stuff out?
What I'm saying is, you can have a purely physical attraction. I was with a woman that I was spiritually incompatible with. We had 100% compatibility sexually, but it still was a disaster.
Oh my God!
Wow.
So the thing is that I'm wanting to be with someone where our spirits can commingle in harmony. Because if the spiritual thing is out, the rest of it is never going to work, period. You can do it. You can try it. People come to me. They say, we're having difficulty. I will tell them exactly. Once I know that they're spiritually incompatible, I will tell them exactly how their relationship goes on a daily basis.
Wow.
And if that is out, there is no correcting it, is the point that I'm wanting to make. The reason being is there's nothing wrong with either person. They just have no business attempting to be together.
If people could know this right at the beginning,
a lot of things could be totally alleviated.
Wow. But what do you tell somebody been together 15 years?
We gotta take this break, man, and then when we come back to final thought, I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to promote what they got. Today's show, man. Wow. We'll be back at 2.2, the So What Morning Show. Out! Well, final thought time. The whole purpose of doing shows like this is to stretch what you think you know to be true. Right? I may not understand everything, but I am open to wanting to understand everything. You know, I'm an investigator of life. And this is why I try to have people on who are better at life than me, or who have a deeper understanding of life than I do. And with that said, this is why, you know, Angela Dumas and my good friend Nityama, this is why we have these powerful beings on, you know. Angela Dumas is also my friend. She's helped me in many different, like, she's a reality bender. I call her a relation shift expert. She's powerful. And we've been trying to get her on for a long time, and I'm very happy that she was able to come on. But let me say something about life. We are, as human beings, we're architects of reality, right? We are reality masons. And just like masons use symbology, right? As an example that they, you know, I use the plumb line, or, you know, I use the compass because I'm trying to build something as perfect as the pyramid. Well, the philosophy of masonry is, now I'm building my internal self in the same fashion I would, or in the same fashion as a stonemason, right, would build a pyramid. In masonry, they call it the speculative mason is the one who's using the philosophical symbology of masonry to build the inner person in much the same way the Great Pyramid was built. That's a speculative mason and not an actual stonemason, right? I believe some of our tools, if you would follow the metaphor, for building the kind of reality we want, sex is a tool. Intimacy is a tool. Intelligence is a tool. Empathy is a tool. And I believe that the penis and the vagina are a tool. Anything that you have not worked out in yourself will get worked out through your relationships. Now, if sex is creative and sex is sex magic and it manifests, we know it manifests through children. I got 3 of them, right? We know it's a creative process. My question is, what is it creating that you're unaware of? If it's not creating children, what's being resolved through sex in your life? Sometimes sex complicates your life, and that's a creative process too. And so many people are unaware of the problems they co-create through the sex act, right? A lot of people are unaware of that. So my whole purpose of bringing this show, you know, to T Radio V today was to simply say, I made mistakes by misusing my tools. Can I learn from those mistakes and then undo those mistakes? How do I get the energy of a broken heart, you know, off my heart? How do I get the energy of a negative person out of my energy, right? Listen, if quantum entanglement exists as a certifiable concept in quantum physics, quantum entanglement, meaning electrons and energy gets entangled all the way down to string theory. If it happens in 4th dimensional mathematics and scientists are saying, yo, this is real, then it has to happen in our relationships. So how do we get untangled from those that have hurt us? That is the purpose of this show. And as with all of my shows, it's not designed to answer every single question, but it is designed to engender the dialogue after the show is over. So I hope we've done at least a good job of sparking your interest in wanting to study further into this dialogue, into this particular topic. With that said, that is my final thought. Let's go around the table, starting with my brother Nityama. Where can they find you, brother? How do they connect to you? I encourage everybody to get in contact with Nityama.
Tiny URL /.com tinyurl.com /Nityama DVD.
Y'all got that? tinyurl.com /Nityama DVD. Get at him ASAP. It's imperative that you do. We only scratch the surface with this, brother. And my good friend, Angela Dumas. Yes. She is, hey man, I'm telling you, she is powerful. She is a reality shifter and a reality bender. How do we get people to connect with you right now?
Well, in this moment, just I have a little issue with one of my emails that is not taking it in. So we're going to go to Angela at acoachinmiracles.com.
And when she says a coach in miracles, I swear for Jesus, she not playing. It's a real deal. She's the real deal. She's helped me tremendously. Please go support her again. What's that email one more time?
Angela at acoachinmiracles with an S on the end.com.
Thank you guys so much for being on the show. I appreciate you so much, and we will talk soon. Bobby G!
If you haven't already, please go to my website, www.realmendon'tplay.com, and meet some of the men that you would want to know if you ever had a chance to be in the company of a real man. My Twitter feed is at Glanton-Smith.
Love it, love it, love it. Doc, tell them about this book, 2 days.
Yeah, this is coming out in 2 days. It's the paperback version. It's updated. It's the top book on listing in the world. If you Twitter me at Mark Goulston, I will send you an excerpt. I'll send you the whole first portion of it, but Twitter me at Mark Goulston, and I'll send you that. Or visit me at Amazon.com and check it out. Thanks.
Love it, love it, love it. Jeff?
That book is the impetus to the countdown of my book. Buy it if you dare. It's coming out very soon. Approximately 89 days available. Jeff's Brownies. Thoughts from Geoff Brown. Don't read it around your kids. Don't leave it laying around. I'm not responsible for who gets suspended.
Love it, love it, love it. Ladies and gentlemen, please continue to support my movement here. Go to cdbaby.com. Please purchase a copy of my lecture on God, the God Class, Volume 1. It's at CD Baby. As well, listen, it's Cash Mob Day. Today is Cash Mob. I need everybody to cash mob us for the So What Morning Show and Relationship Dismount Book Tour. Very, very important that we see some major contributions or this will be a bust. Dr. Mark Goulston actually wrote the foreword to my next book. It is the Consummate Relationship book, and it is powerful. 12 chapters. It's amazing, and we need your help to not only get the book out so we could do it self-publish. You know, I want to self-publish. We have publishers who want this book, but I want to do it self-publish. I want grassroots. I want to do it that way, and I want to support it with a Relationship Dismount book tour. We need your help. Go to Indiegogo. What is ZWMS and Relationship Dismount book tour. Please go there right now. We encourage everybody to support this movement. We only have 45 days left. We're only at 4%. We need your help ASAP to make this thing work. We appreciate the 59 funders who have already funded it so far. We thank you so much, deeply and appreciatively. And we'll be back next week with another heater. So What Mornings, we out. Deuces.